Hi guys, Cargrash here, and today we are going to finally be looking into the Artistro Watercolor paint set. I know I was supposed to get to you guys last week, or at least a couple days ago, earlier than now, but I kind of forgot it was the holidays. I didn't really think ahead when I said next week we'll be looking into it, so please forgive me for that. But now we're actually just gonna kind of dive right into it. You kind of already know what this is all about. This is about this water set here. I already showed you the swatch sheet, but for those that missed it, here's the completed swatch sheet. And as you can see, they kind of go down really nicely. Now, I am not an expert with watercolors, so I didn't really get the whole gradient thing to work for me, because once again I'm very new. I mean, I tried to do it in some spots, but it just, I don't know how to control my watercolors yet. So anyway, I do intend to kind of show off what came in the kit. So obviously there is the nice bit of paper here. But it's a really stiff bit of paper. I don't know if it's what weight it is. I would assume it's it kind of feels the same as this is actually a little more flimsy. So this says it's 140-pound paper, and this also came with the kit. So I'm gonna say this is probably like 180, maybe 200, something like that. It's a really sturdy bit of watercolor paper. So came with that. Came with a nice little plastic sheet, tell you what each color is supposed to be. They give you 10 sheets, which they aren't actually bound in here. At first I thought they were bound, but later I found out they're just loose sheets. Which, I mean, on one hand, I would kind of like them to be bound, so it's a book, because it's supposed to be like a travel set. But on the other hand, you have loose sheets that you can just work on. You don't have to worry about trying to rip it out later when you get done with your piece of work. So, that's that. And then there's the tin. Tin's a very nice quality. I forget if there's anything loose in here. Didn't hear anything rattle, so we're good. On the back, they also have your colors, all their information, all that fun stuff. Then, we get to the goods inside. Now, when I was doing the swatch sheet, all I really used was this guy here, which is actually a nice little brush. I know some people like to color larger scale, so this probably wouldn't be the best for them, but the people that probably like to paint large scale probably want tubes of paint, not these little pans. Once again, this is all made for travel, I do believe, because there's this teal set, which is their travel set, and then there's a pink set, which I believe is their like at home, already settled in to a workspace type set. I will try and remember to leave the links for that down in the comments below, but not in the comments, in the description below. I can YouTube sometimes. Anyway, nice little eraser. Haven't really bothered to get it out because I haven't felt like drawing anything, which has just kind of been the mood for the last portion of the year. Anyone else feel that? Just all the creativity just kind of disappearing from you. It's happened to me, but we're gonna struggle live, or maybe I'll cut this, who knows. Alright, now that that's out, it just your standard eraser probably goes with your probably very standard pencil. I mean, it looks like a very fancy pencil, but I assume it'll come out. I could not break this. Let's see here. Oh, it's a nice little HB pencil. Whoop. If the camera wants to, yeah, HB drawing pencil. Yeah, very fancy looking. Got a nice little triangle design, which I've heard helps for people that don't like to hold pencils for long periods of time. Helps not wear out their hand. Then there's this big fella, which I actually haven't used, and I'll probably use it in this video. Oh, get back in camera. Nice little water brush. Kind of looks like the what is it, Caran d'Ache water brushes with the nice little push spot there. Oh yeah, definitely haven't used it because there's still that it's either glue or whatever they put on the end here to kind of seal it in that you're supposed to. Let me dip it in a little bit of water, see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Nice and flexible. I have to figure out where my camera is again. But yeah. Then you got your pencil sharpener for when your pencil needs it. Oh, I didn't even ever actually check under here. I probably should have. But sponge, and I was originally just going to start complaining that they didn't have a spot for mixing colors, but clearly if I would have just looked and lifted up the sponge instead of just assuming, you know, that it's just there for drying stuff off, I would have found some spots for mixing paints. You'll learn something new every day. Anyway, there's that. Set these guys off to the side. I'm gonna try and keep them in view, at least some of them anyway. Because I know I was supposed to start working on and learning watercolor, but once again, holidays happen. You know, all watercolor stuff could sit to the sidelines while I'm, you know, off with family and all that fun stuff. So, sorry about that. Oh, it's almost perfectly on camera. Anyway, Artistro Watercolors. Let's actually use this bad boy. So, some water. And this is kind of a first time experience using this particular water brush, so let's hope it works well. Okay, one thing, doesn't really have enough suction. I know some water brushes, they're small enough that they have enough suction to kind of pull up the water themselves, just dunking them in water, pushing on the mechanism that makes them work, and letting suction pull the water back up. This is not small enough for that, so you'll need a dropper or to just run it, you know, under your tap. It's good to know. All right, water brush with water. It's, you know, I was gonna complain they don't have a color sheet, but I have a color sheet. I want I think it's this fella here. This medium blue. Or is it one of the type of water brushes that is constantly dripping? No. So you do have to press if you want a little bit of water. So a little bit of water. Oh, I see. Okay. Do you note that it the water kind of leaves through, like, right next to the bristles? It doesn't actually seep into the bristles and then goes to the end. So you'll want to, like, tilt your brush up completely up and down. Anyway, see if I can show you, because these actually they didn't take much work at all to actually activate, which I felt was really nice. A little bit of water. And right there I already have a whole bunch of brilliant color. I know you're supposed to like spritz them down and let them sit there for like 30 seconds or something like that to really soak it in, but just a little bit of water. I did scrub it a little bit, so that I don't want to say usually helps because it always helps, but it's good to go. Let's see here. Can we get any kind of fancy watercolor techniques? Probably not, because I don't know any, but I do know you're supposed to be able to, like, say, you know, make a pool of water, get a whole bunch of pigment and let it bloom, which it doesn't seem to want to bloom. Once again, I could be doing it wrong, so yeah, it doesn't like to spread. Most definitely remember seeing people like do something like this and the color just going everywhere. So it doesn't like to bloom and spread very much, and before you ask, yes, I am just putting color to paper. We're gonna make it fancy. Mix some colors, splash some colors, kind of go for a galaxy vibe of some sort. Now, before we get too far into it, I will say, just in my limited amount of time of using them, which is really not a whole lot, you're kind of seeing my second or third attempt using them right here, right now, but they feel so nice. They're very creamy. They're not chalky like some of the other really like cheap paint. Oh, that one bloomed. That one exploded color all over the place. What the heck? Do better. Other color. Now this is supposed to be the darker shade of blue, or just a light different tint of it. I couldn't really. I mean, one looks a little more teal than blue, but that's about it. Yeah, in my limited amount of time of using them, they've actually been really good. Sorry if I'm a little distracted. But yeah, just use the sponge. What am I doing? Alright, so now that I've spoke about things a little bit, how's everybody doing? How was your holidays? How was the New Year's for you? You guys doing good? I hope you're all doing good, because it's the start of something new in a couple hours here. By the time that goes up, it's probably going to be the new year, so it's going to be, you know, the start of something new. So hopefully everybody's got, you know, something to look forward to, or a project or a hobby they're wanting to get into, just something new. You need something new in your life. And if you don't have something new in your life, maybe try doing something new with your life. Just grab some magenta there. Completely soak the paper. Have it bubble up because I don't know how to size it properly for video. Well, not size. Sizing is the thing that makes watercolor paper do watercolor things. I think it's stretch watercolor paper. You know, get it all wet and then you're supposed to tamp it down with a book or something. Anywho. Colors are most definitely spreading very nicely whenever it's not bubbled up too badly. Let's get a little bit of purple. I think this is purple. One downside to this, which it's not really a downside, it's just me being new to the medium, is that There's a lot of colors in there that if I didn't have this little handy sheet to tell me which was which, I would be so lost, because there's a lot of them in here that look purple or dark red, and then you actually get some color off them and they're most definitely not either of those things. So, and they don't really have labels on the paint, so you just have to kind of memorize and know. Yeah, just giving you another nice little look, because like I said, there's some of them in here that I would have no idea. Most of them you can get a general thought about what color is supposed to be, but not all of them. Not all of them. So, first things first, I kind of like the brush. Or no, not even first things first. There's another thing. I kind of like it, kind of don't. You really, you have to know you want water, and it's very hard to push, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I'm sure is there, so that way you're not just leaking water everywhere. I just wish it was a little softer, just a little bit, so that way my fingertips weren't, a little bit aching from it. And yes, I am just kind of soaking the paper, because I want the colors to spread and flow. I really enjoyed that about, if anyone remembers from the very early days of the channel, I used to get alcohol inks and kind of do the same sort of stuff, make them react and flow and spread, and it's kind of mesmerizing. But now, actually another thing I can try, just need to load this up with some color. The edges here don't seem to want to stay wet. That's alright. More water, then rinse. Get a whole bunch of color. Right, then you don't want color on the brush, and you just kind of this side needs more color. Right, color down. Right, a little sheet of plastic. Yeah. I guess the lady who did that had a lot more color down on her watercolor paper, but it did flatten the paper for me. I will give it that. In case anyone was curious, I watched that in the tutorial, and she was like, yeah, just some plastic down on it, and you get a nice effect. apparently I didn't have enough color. And again, she was working with tube watercolors, so by all means, if you want to try that again, if you want to try that at home, just know you need a whole bunch of color on here. Just a whole bunch. I think I'm going to do one more wash now that it's all kind of flattened down a little bit. Do one more wash of color. Alright, now that I've absolutely soaked it. Well, this is starting to dry. Very slowly. My thoughts on the paint, once again, said they were really good. I do like the travel set. Travel set was very nice. I haven't really traveled with it, but it has everything all kind of neat, organized, and ready to go. It has 48 really nice colors. The pink one, like I said, was more like if you're at home already. I believe it came with everything in here, but it didn't have slots for it. I believe it all came in like a bag, which, I mean, technically you could travel with that too, but this is literally just you grab this tin and you're good to go. I mean, tin, then you need some water, but yeah. So I really like that. I want to say it was like $28, maybe a little less than that for the tin. I will definitely, once again, when I'm looking this up, I will try and put a picture of what the price was and where you can get it up on screen. So for the price, for 48 colors that feel like really high grade quality, watercolors, I would say this is quite the bargain. And if you can get them for cheaper, like a sale or something, go for it. If you really want like a rating, these would be like a 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Just because I'm still new and I don't know what a 10 would feel like. If any companies out there feel like they want to send me their best quality stuff to let me test on the channel here, let me know. Not that anyone's going to, but anyway, yeah. So that's. I think I have one more thing I want to add to this, so I will be right back when I can. One more, guys. Alright, guys, one last thing. Gave this a nice little dry. It's gonna be kind of cheesy, but felt it's kind of needed. Happy New Year's, guys. And I hope to see many more of you in the future. Join the channel. Subscribe, like if you like the content of the videos. And also check out my other channels if you're interested in gaming. And we still have one more channel to reveal, but yeah. Happy New Year's, guys. Thank you for watching. If you got all the way to the end, thank you for sticking all the way through the video to the end. And I hope to see you again next time. Goodbye.